All right, going live, doing some painting and chatting. I'm on my 3 channels, so we'll see what happens. And as the title says, Silent Men and Reapers. For those of you who don't know, the Silent Men are a type of Greyjoy unit, lightly armored, heavily armed with massive axes that after they do a ritual have their ability to speak removed, like their tongues are literally cut out or something like that. And they tend to be crew members of a ship called the Silence. Now, I'm not sure who the king of the Silence is, but that's just the little bit of lore that I've managed to learn about these guys. In game, they're kind of expensive for an infantry unit. Like, they cost 2 points more than your average infantry unit, but their ability to basically sunder armor and everything like that might be worth it. You know what I mean? If you can get a charge off with these guys and just stack a couple mods on and then, sunder armor, that's going to be a dead enemy unit. And also because they're the Silent Men, they cause, morale issues for, your enemies. They appear to be wearing bronze armor and that looks like OD green capes. And then the rest of their clothing is just gray. So they're going to be pretty easy to paint, I would say. Pretty easy to paint. Now, the Reapers, I think they're House Harlow. And they're just a bunch of dudes with big frickin' axes. They got their own banner, which is their house banner. Oh, something I learned about my Black Tide guys I finished. They have their own banners. Hey, how you doing? They have their own banner, which is green and black checkered. So I took an archivist pen and I went back over their banner and I drew the lines in, and I'm going to have to bust out one of my like 010 super fine brushes and put those check marks on there. I mean, I don't really have to. That's just me being crazy, I think, insisting that everything be away. I think after this, I'll get the Starks done. I mean, I've been knocking these Greyjoys out pretty much a regiment every 2 days. And there's not that many regiments that I need to paint, like, I don't know, 7. So, and then I'll move on to the Starks. And after the Starks, I will move on to the Lannisters. And the Lannisters, hey, how you doing, Daniel Barry? The Lannisters should be very easy to paint because for me, I'm saying, because I love painting red. And that might be because I've been painting Blood Angel Space Marine since like 97. So red is one of my favorite colors to paint. It's just, I don't know, I just enjoy it, right? And it turns out that a lot of your Lannister units, they actually enamel their armor red. So, you got guys wearing red cloaks, wearing red armor, So basically, hey, how you doing, Mad Cat? What's up, homie? Or should I call you Timberwolf 352? Um, so I'm thinking, other than the Cleganes, that the Lannister units should be pretty easy. Now, another thing, I finished Victorian, and he's standing on the far left side of the Victory crew. So that's good. The captain of the ship, Victory, are standing with his crew, and he's also my commander. He, in A Song of Ice and Fire, the tabletop game, I would say of all the Greyjoy commanders, he is kind of the most direct. It's like everything he does. Snow and ice storm here. Yeah, that's what my brother said was going on up there. They had a couple feet of snow. And he's up there to drive because, they don't know if they can drive down the mountainside.
And would be a fun one to try, right?
Right. Well, it's 60 degrees here in Florida.
Must be nice.
So everybody's acting like it's the apocalypse because that's how Florida is.
60 degrees. Oh no.
Speaking of wonderful things about Florida, today I was years old, and I'll get back to what I was talking about. But I was years old when I found out they hired bounty hunters to hunt down Nile monitors, which have apparently become a very successful invasive species. Nile monitors, yes, the lizard, the Nile monitor. And those bad boys get 7-8 feet long.
Yep.
So, if you got pets outside, they will eat them, But these guys, they were down in South Florida. Those things could never live up here because every now and then we'll get a cold snap and it'll freeze. And
not very good for those lizards.
Yeah, those lizards would just drop dead. Alligators, for whatever reason, seem to be more resistant to temperature variation.
Yeah.
Because, like where I live, you'll see alligators pretty much in every body of water, but you won't see a Florida crocodile ever. Like in my whole life, other than on TV, I've never seen a Florida crocodile.
Crikey.
Crikey. Well, lucky too, because alligators, which are generally really stupid and live and let live until they get a certain size, aren't known to be hyper aggressive again until they get a certain size. But the Florida crocodile is straight up, looking for problems all the time. If it thinks it can fit you into its mouth, it's going to try. And they're really stupid. So they automatically think they can fit everything into their mouth. So, yeah, those things are down in Okeechobee, Alligator Alley, the big swamp. But you don't see them up here. Of course, they've got African crocodiles down there, too. So, like somebody said, Florida is the Australia of the United States. Yeah, those African monitors, they get big. And yeah. So that's kind of a problem, is people are calling to have them removed because they're eating people's pets. Like, if you got cats or small dogs outside and you're not paying attention, and there's a 4 or 5 foot Nile monitor in the neighborhood, well, kiss Fluffy goodbye, because that bad boy will kill and eat it. And you can be mad at them, but not super mad, because they're so stupid. You know what I mean? It's like one of the world's stupidest animals.
I'd just be annoyed. Really, I wouldn't hate the animal for doing what it does. It's just, I'd be annoyed. It's like, oh, dang.
Yeah, it's like an alligator. Alligators don't have any ill will towards anything. They're just really dumb. So, it's not like they're plotting on you.
Hey, crafting gamer.
Crafting Gamer, how you doing, homie? Yeah, alligators aren't plotting on you. They look at you and they do
I
some
don't know.
quick
I think they
math.
are.
No, they look at you and they do some quick math. And that
They're
quick math
plotting
is,
on me, boy.
can I eat this thing? And if the answer is no, then they just ignore you and go on about their way, Unfortunately, when they get about 13, 14 feet, the answer becomes yes to most things. And then that's when you got to watch them, because once they get a certain size, I mean, no amount of crabs or catfish are going to do it. And that's when they need bigger prey, like, I don't know, cattle, humans. There's an alligator, I think it was in Louisiana, that killed like 30 or 40 people or some shit.
Oof.
Before they finally put it down. Is like a 14-footer. 14-foot gator. Like those gator hunters.
Mm.
Those guys are crazy, man. But anyway, yeah, the silent men, their whole gig is they have their tongues removed so they can't speak. And somebody asked me, well, how do they sell ships if they can't speak? Well, they don't sell ships. These are raiders. They have slaves pulling the oars. You know what I mean? So
They have people to do that.
Yeah, they got people to do that. They're not doing that. But because of their zealotness and their, basically just weirdness, they're very unsettling for most enemy to have to fight. Because, in the middle of a medieval battle, you expect to hear a lot of screaming and, people calling out for their mom as they die or whatever. And these guys, they don't make a sound ever. So, hey, Omanal, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well.
They did it just so they could hear the other people screaming and crying.
Right. Well, there's another unit in this army, which I doubt I'm going to play with because I don't care for it. But they're called the Drowned Men. And they're like a large base with a bunch of bedraggled, drowned men on it. Because in order to be an official Ironborn guy, and I've said this before, they drown you and then they pull you out of the water and try to resuscitate you. And if you die, then they consider you weak. But if you come back to life, then you get to be one of the Ironborn. And that's where they get the saying, that which is dead can never die. Plus, they basically worship Cthulhu. They worship the drowned god that sleeps under the ocean. And R.R. Martin has admitted that, yes, deep ones and all that sort of shit are in Westeros. So like every other fantasy writer since the 1930s, he managed to copy H.P. Lovecraft too. But yeah, the Lannisters, I think, other than the Clegane men, will be very easy because they're just red. They're just red, silver, and gold. Everything's red, silver, or gold. And that's not a big deal. However, I have two of these units, which I did a video on how I magnetized them. This is Clegane's Brigands, so the mountains brigands. I got two of these units, and I've got the character, the mountain that rides, that will lead one of the units. And these guys, all of the cloth on them is yellow. And yellow is a pain in the ass to paint. So, bleh. But it is what it is. It's only like 9 figures, so who cares, right? I can get by. I mean, I painted a whole Lamenter's army once. So if I could paint a whole army of Lamenter's Space Marines, I'm sure I can paint a couple of House Clegane guys. Yeah. The best thing about the Lannister army is the romance. That's what Hungar said, because Hungar's a freaking troll. Because, Jaime and Cersei.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But so far, I mean, I went on the Song of Ice and Fire army builder, and I built a 50-point Greyjoy army, and it looks really good. And I built a 50-point Stark army, and it looks pretty good too. I think we'll have a lot of fun. I told my wife that the Stark army is hers. So, and since I've got the characters, she's going to have her army led by the littlest bear, Lady Mormont, who was the like 12-year-old girl. Because, everybody liked her character. She was cool. When all the people didn't want to join in the war, and she was like punking them out and calling them bitches. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to get shamed by a 12-year-old, right? But Leth, tell me something interesting that you got going on, because
tonight
I'm quite boring these days.
Tonight, hopefully a game, maybe, as long as my power stays on, and we're still having it.
Yeah, because like half of the gamers in my game ended up with a cold. We decided, let's not game this week and let the other half catch whatever the hell's going around. So today has been a day for relaxation. So, which is good. Which game are you playing, though?
The one where I'm the cleric.
Oh, the 5e game.
Yep.
Cool.
The one where we might be doing bard stuff.
Bard stuff? What do you mean?
Like more playing instruments and making money.
Oh, okay. So a traveling band of minstrels.
Basically. Not my original idea that I was going to be doing, but hey, if it makes money, why not?
A merry band of travelers on the road.
Yep.
Looking for adventure and a free drink in the tavern at night.
And maybe a few coins that the people can spare.
Right. I mean, yeah, that could work. I mean, even if I were to run, obviously not AD&D, because then nobody could be a monk or a bard.
Well, here's the thing: you don't have to be a bard to play instruments,
right?
And I'm pretty sure in AD&D they have rules for it.
Well, yeah. Like that's true in AD&D. If I use the proficiency tables, you can take a musical instrument as a proficiency.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could put together a whole band of
barbarians.
Well, I don't. Maybe they all got a bunch of like bagpipes and drums and shit.
They could be a rock band.
They're all like cruising around, and all their songs sound like the theme song to Conan.
Yes.
Just that dun 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 dun. No, but think about how cool it would be, though. And this would be a lot more political game. But if the players were all being minstrels, but on the DL, they were like spies.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be kind of cool. You play like thieves or something like that with those kind of sneaky skills, but...
Right. And you go into foreign or enemy kingdoms for your king, your liege lord, and you pretend just to be musicians, but the whole time you're there,
you're spying on them.
You're spying to see how many men they have guarding
Watching
which
them.
castles and towns and the best ways to invade and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And like I said, it might be a little bit too much politics for some people, but it could be a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if the war starts and your little band of miscreants gets tasked with like sabotaging stuff from the inside of
Yeah.
the enemy kingdom. Of course, then what happens if people in the enemy kingdom realize what you did and now you're like,
Gotta leave. Gotta
they hate
go.
you. They hate you.
Yep.
Like, even though your kingdom conquers their lands, they're like, oh, those bastards. You know?
Yep.
Again, that could all be a really fun campaign to play out,
I definitely would like that. That would be fun to play.
right? But yeah, we still got to finish the big battle in the One Ring game. The players are ambushing trolls that think they're ambushing the players. So it's a double cross,
A triple cross.
triple cross. Yeah. So,
I thought I was a spy for them, but I was actually spying on them.
right. But yeah, a band of musicians just traveling around doing songs would be the perfect
Cover.
like cover to like be going into places, and especially if you were proficient in a musical instrument, but by your class you were like an assassin.
Mm-hmm. I do have ideas soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll make us a bit more money, but you know, who knows?
Because I mean, if you're in there playing music, but you encounter a commander or something that you perceive is going to be a real issue when it comes time for the invasion to happen, I mean, you're an assassin. Take his ass out.
Yep. Plenty of ways to take out a commander.
Yeah, you can just poison his food,
Yeah.
or you can envenomate him with like a dagger of venom or something. Yeah, I listened to this guy talk about like stuff, Roanoke, whatever. And like every video, he makes sure to remind whoever's watching the video that poison is when you drink or eat it, and venom is when it gets jabbed into you.
Mm-hmm.
So you would not call a snake poisonous unless eating the snake would cause you damage.
Yeah.
You would call
Venomous.
a snake venomous. And I mean, that seems like okay, but I guess those is the rules.
I mean, I knew those rules.
Made my own calculations with MechWarrior. Yeah, I saw that. Where 1 XP is 500, but battle XP are more. I saw that, Jose, and I thought it was
A good idea.
a great idea. It actually fixes a lot of the issues that,
With MechWarrior or Destiny.
yeah, that I don't care about with MechWarrior. But I have found out one negative, which I think I've already talked about, but I'm going to talk about it again. The one negative with the army I picked to play first, and that is I am a huge fan of knights on horses, and there is not a single unit of cavalry in the Greyjoy army.
I don't blame you. I mean, if anything, I'm surprised that I don't like, you know, mounted units and the one war game I played.
I remember that one war game you were playing. It was all like Polish hussars everywhere.
That was my joke, I think, because you could technically play Tauntauns as your Polish hussars.
Oh my goodness!
And they made the Tauntauns broken in that game early on. Like, you could just like do like figure eights around the enemy and win the fight because of that. It's
I don't even know what a tauntaun is. It's like
Remember episode? I think it was 5 where they were on
No,
the
no,
knob.
no. I know what a tauntaun is. I just
Oh,
don't know what it is.
oh,
It's like it seems skelly, but also hairy, and also good at surviving in very cold conditions.
yeah.
So it's like, is it some kind of weird skelly mammal? I mean, what the hell is it?
I have no clue.
You know? See, that's the kind of stuff I think about.
That's fair.
You know?
I don't really care for the tauntauns. Again, I prefer shotguns because apparently shotguns are really good. Jedi can't stop the shotgun.
Well, I mean, in Traveler, shotguns are a great go-to weapon unless the people you're fighting are wearing like a shit ton of power armor.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, that shotgun's not doing much.
Yeah, whenever my team faces a tank, I'm kind of almost screwed. I just kind of ignore the tank and go for everything else and hope that I can just survive the tank.
Right.
Because I'm just like, I got nothing.
However, in boarding actions, no one in their right mind would be using a weapon with a high level of penetration. Because the last thing you want to do is board an enemy ship and then blow a hole through the hull.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That wouldn't be a good idea. So shotguns for boarding actions end up being awesome because, I mean, post a guy at the end of a walkway and just have him freaking buckshot down that. Anyone pokes their head around a corner, man, just, blam, blam, blam.
Ooh, even better with Legion, they introduced this thing called the AA5 speeder truck, which is basically just a battle bus. You take that thing, fill it with shotgun troops, move it over, and then have the shotguns come out and blast something.
Yeah. I looked at Star Wars Legion, but the main reason I decided not to bother with it, even though I've probably got enough miniatures to make a Imperial army, is because of the proprietary dice.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you wanted to try it out, you could just get Tabletop Sim and try it out.
Right. I wonder if they've got a Song of Ice and Fire on Tabletop Sim.
They might. They could.
If they did, that would be cool because then I could
test out things and then
test out. Well, if you can play multiplayer, get Hungar
and play it online, yeah.
You and could play online,
As long as you and him have Tabletop Sim, you could both do that if it's on there. I could check for you.
Yeah, and I could we could play BattleTech, maybe.
I think they might have models on there. I don't know if they have a dedicated thing for it. I'm not sure though. They could. They have a lot of crazy things on there. One of my favorite card games is on there called
What's
Bang.
That? Huh?
Bang.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's basically old Western card game where you're like one person's a sheriff. There's like a couple of outlaws, and then there's a wild card and a deputy. And
okay.
The sheriff's job is to try to get rid of the outlaws and the wild card, while the wild card's just trying to get rid of everybody. Starting with trying to, I think, end it with a one-on-one with the sheriff. And then there's like the there's the outlaws who's just trying to get rid of the sheriff.
Jose has one of the Tauntaun action figures.
Let me see.
Oh
wait, what am I doing? I
don't know if you ever watched Life of Boris, but he invented, I think, a card game called AK-47, where you can keep like 4 cards in your hand. And the whole goal of the card game is to assemble an ace, a king, a 7, and a 4. And if you can do that, then you can start attacking your opponents. And every time you attack an opponent, they have to lose like 10 life, and everybody starts with 30 life. And then if somebody's life is reduced to 0, then they're out of the game. I guess you could call it AK-74 too, since
Let me
just
see here.
switching a couple numbers around.
Yeah, I think they do have a Song of Ice and Fire on here.
Nice. My wife for Christmas bought me the Boris cookbook. Like all the a lot of the recipes he's cooked on his channel.
I wouldn't say, well, it's hard to say if it's a complete rabbit hole. I mean, really, you're definitely not spending as much as 40K at least.
Legion's a rabbit hole for my money. I already have Battletech, right? Right. Well, the thing with Battletech is if you are a disciplined human being, which I know most of us are not, you can pick up the mechs that you actually really want to play and be done. Like, and if those mechs are in the basic box set, well, that's $40 and done.
Yeah.
And that's one of the good things about A Song of Ice and Fire 2 is while it's a little bit more than the Battletech game, if you don't want to play huge games, you want to keep it at 30 or 40 points or whatever, you buy the starter box and done.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm not that guy in either game. I've always got to, there's always something.
Well, I played Legion completely for free, so what do I know?
Yeah, you were playing it online, so,
It's fun that way. You don't have to pay anything. The models are already modeled for you. All you have to do is just build it and then put it in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rework my army later because Victorian, however you say it, is my commander. But I recently got my hands on Balin Darktide. So I have 2 Darktide units in my army. I would like to put him in as a leader. But he costs 2 points. So I'm going to have to figure out where I can get rid of 2 points.
If I was still playing Legion, I'd probably have to try to retool my favorite team or my favorite.
Well, I mean, it sounds like your favorite army is running up on people and shooting them with shotguns.
Yes, it works
How very
well.
Kentucky of you. I'm just going to run up and shoot everything with a 12 gauge. All right. That is the Appalachia way. Just run up and unload the shotguns. But
yeah, it's fun because the way this army worked was I'd have like Leia and then a bunch of fleet troopers and maybe even like Ahsoka for Jedi character. Basically, those fleet troopers I'd also put on this thing that allows them to get scout one, so they'll be able to move out a little bit. Then I would put down Leia, have her move a couple of them up even more,
right?
Because she has that ability.
So your characters are almost starting within range at the beginning of the game, anyway.
Yeah. And then if I win the then there's even another card after that allows me to even move them up even further. So I play that card first, and then I just get to move them up even further, and then I'm right there, ready to shoot them.
I don't know. I feel like you should be ashamed of yourself for some reason.
What? I built a rush team
that
sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
You're like having too much fun with your rush team. That's all. Like you're having way too much fun with that. You need to calm down.
Hey, I got an even better build if I ever wanted to go with the
murder bears. Oh, the little cannibals.
Yes, the little cannibals. because
Yeah.
they put the happy tree friends in there. I think that's what they call them.
Happy tree friends. Oh my god.
That's what I like calling them. I don't think it's exactly right, but it was something tree something. And I'm like, okay, happy tree friends then. And what you can do is you can get Chewbacca and the ATR. I think it was the ATST. You know, the big two-legged chicken walker.
Yeah.
You can hide the murder bears behind that thing, and since that thing counts as a big thing, you can't shoot behind it and kill the bears. So you rush the bears from behind it and attack them.
There was a YouTube channel that I watched a couple of videos of. He mostly talks about Warhammer,
Yeah.
but he 3D print a complete Gungan army.
Oh yeah, I seen that too. Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back, but it was like he had a complete Gungan army for
Oh,
Legion.
and the best part is, since that Chewbacca wasn't, it's a Chewbacca inside the ATST. That
Yeah.
thing counts as incognito, as in you can't shoot it. It's until it either gets close enough, or it shoots you.
Yeah, because you don't know that it's been taken over by the rebellion yet.
Yeah,
But
which is funny because I mean, you get this giant chicken walker just come up to you, just like you can't do anything about it.
I guess I could get rid of Asha and Carl and get Balin in there. Yeah, that's the thing when you're making your armies. But that's completely not a power move that I'm doing. It's just that his name is Balin, Black Tide. So he should be leading the Black Tide Marauders, since those are his people.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. So I guess I'm kind of making a fluffy list, but I still expect it to kick ass. I mean, Victarion in this game, all of his tactic cards, pretty much like you were saying with Leia and everything, with Victarion, all of your cards help you get into hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it's just there to rush you into battle.
Here is a Canadian. Nice to talk to his fellow citizen. Oh, yeah. Canadians fleeing the frozen north to Costa Rica. But
now, there are other things you could technically do that would be great for the rebellion. I used to try to really work out the 1.4 those laser cannons. You remember those off the Hoth?
Yeah.
They get like a range 5, so they're pretty good at like zoning out things.
Right.
But it wasn't very good, sadly. I mean, it was just too easy to hide behind things and then, avoid them completely because they're stationary.
In this game, you basically have this. It says short and long. So when you want to measure something, you start here. And then you measure to see what range it is.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Now, on the other side, it's got numbers, but I don't know why.
Just do. It's a measuring stick, so it gives you numbers.
Right. And it comes with 2D forest terrain, which I can just stick. Like I have some woods that are, trees that are just based. So if I put this on the table, I can just put those on it.
Yeah, to represent it better.
Yeah. One thing I hated that Warhammer did is at a point, I don't know which edition it was, Warhammer decided everything was going to be true line of sight, which meant if you could use a laser pointer to shoot through a tree and see an enemy, you could attack him.
Yeah.
And I always hated that because in earlier editions of Warhammer, trees were area terrain. So they just blocked line of sight.
Which makes sense because, I mean, if you have like a forest between you and the opponent, shooting into that forest is not a guarantee that you'll hit the person.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you're what do they want you to do? Model every forest with like every bush and shrub that's growing in the forest. I
I
mean,
guess so. I mean, that's a lot of work, but okay.
it was just like so. Certain things were area terrain because the designers at the time recognized the fact that miniatures cannot move. So if you moved your miniatures up to a wall, you could say that they're squatting down behind the wall,
Yeah.
and that was okay, right? But then when they got true line of sight, some of you might remember when Space Marines, like all the Space Marine sergeants, had back banners, but I think it's like seventh or not seventh, eighth edition maybe. Everyone took the back banners off of their sergeants because if your enemy could draw a line of sight to the back banner, then they could target the unit. And it was just like, that doesn't even make sense. But that was just rules as written, man.
Yeah.
And it was just dumb, you know. Now in well, at least in Horse Heresy, in order to shoot a model, you have to be able to see it center mass, and you know, certain things count as area terrain. They basically just fixed all the problems with 40K. That's really what 30K is. 30K is 40K fixed, but only people with a lot of money can play it. You know, because the basic starter kit to play that game is like $300.
I also do really like the models that they like the maps that people have made for Legion. Some
Oh
people
yeah,
do pretty good work on those,
yeah,
especially for it to be like some of them kind of break sometimes, but whenever they do work, they're really nice because you'll actually have like a full little area terrain built up with like a bunch of little things to hide behind, or making the world look better or the map look better.
yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, terrain I think is very important for wargaming.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it can make all the difference in the world, not just to the game, but to the look and how much fun you have. Because, I mean, while this game, you don't have to paint a single miniature since they're all molded in their house color. Um, I'm still going to paint them because that's how I am, you know?
Yep.
I'm not going to go the easy route and just be like, well, you can tell they're teal green, so that's great. Greyjoy, right? No, they're going to get painted. All of my pale whitish blue Starks will be painted. They'll be easy though, since they're all basically wearing black animal hides and armor. So they're not going to be very difficult at all to paint. Just like I said, and other than the mountains men, I think that the Lannisters will be pretty easy too, just because they're all red, which is a color I love to paint. And also one of my favorite colors. I have to actually, when I'm painting fantasy figures, I have to keep tabs on how much colors I've used to make sure I don't like go hog wild and paint everything red. Because, I like red. So, I'll be painting up like Vikings, and the next thing you know, every single Viking's wearing like red tunics and shit. It's like,
Oh crap! I'm gonna have to repaint that now.
crap. Yeah, I gotta go back and add some color because they all wouldn't be wearing. I guess if I were painting a, Roman army, it would be fine since they wore nothing but red. But yeah, when you're painting Saxons or whatever, you gotta mix it up.
Yeah, you got
But
the Celts in like red for some reason.
yeah, whereas really the Celts, which I got a box because my wife bought me a box of them from like Warlord Games. I mean, the pictures they had of these guys, it was like who could do this? Like their pants were all checkered and like with tartans, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. You know what I mean? I might go out of my way for a banner here or there, but no, I'm not painting tartans on everybody. I might put stripes on pants if I'm painting like pirates or something, but yeah, don't ask for much more than that. You know what I mean? So now painting the bases black, now that the bodies have dried enough that I can touch the bodies. And I paint the bases black so that when I put the European mud on them, any parts I don't get 100% still, look good. Which this is what I use to base all my figures that are going to be based like this. If I were going to base them with grass, which is what I'll do for all the Lannister units, I'll paint the base green and I'll just do it with the grass mix I have. Since, the Lannisters did a lot of their fighting down in the Riverlands where it was nice and green. But the Starks, their base will be mud and snow. And, of course, the Greyjoys is mud and rocks. And the occasional shrubbery. But, yep. So, and the best thing about it is, if nothing else, these guys are pretty badass fantasy figures. Like I could always, throw a few of these guys on a table and tell the players they're bandits or something. So now I want to know something. You've got Costa Rica and Puerto Rico, right? Is that like Richard or something like that? Like being named after like a king or something? Or does Rico or whatever mean something else in English?
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a guy from Costa Rica that speaks Spanish in chat. I mean, my level of Spanish is, where does it hurt? And it is what it is. Which is
habla español.
SOCKS. It is what it is. Oh, my buddy Miguel, he sent me a picture the other day. I guess a long, long time ago, he had this little chubby figure of like a Mexican. And he gave it to me and he asked me to paint it up to look like him in his fire gear. So I did, right? And complete with the reflective stripes, and it says Diaz on the back and whatever, right? Oh, see now, no, I don't think I've outed him because there's probably a billion Diaz's. But anyway,
yeah, that's kind of a common name,
super common name. But anyway, he sent me a picture of Lil Diaz the other day.
Oh,
he's all like, after all this time, I thought he was gone, and now he's back. And I was like, hell yeah. Lil Diaz rides again, man.
So Costa Rica is rich coast, while Puerto Rico is wealthy port.
Huh. Okay. All right. Awesome. Learn something new every day. Because most of what I know about the Caribbean, I learned from playing Pirates. Sid Meier's Pirates. Because it come with that badass pirate map. A Garthen Mager. I don't know what that is, but hey, bro, what up?
I never thought about that, but yeah, that does make a lot of sense with what I do know about Spanish.
Right. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
I know that trying to sack Havana during the 17 and 1800s is damn near impossible.
Costa del Sol.
It's just not going to happen. But
That's
you can
weird.
sack a lot of the smaller towns, like on the northern part of Brazil and all of that, and force them to switch over to being British. But the problem is, unless you sit there all day watching them, as soon as you leave, the Spanish will send a fleet to, take the
Bring it.
towns back.
Take it back, huh?
So, and of course, you're looking for the evil Baron Ronaldo, who kidnapped your family and sold them into slavery on various sugar plantations. And
My thought on the last one is neither. I don't care.
okay, wow, super far right, Orthodox Christian monarchist. Trump definitely over Harris, who
Yeah.
has Israel over Palestine this time because the Palestinians started it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd side
But
with
at the end
Israel
of the
because
day,
they're not.
go ahead.
They don't.
I'm sorry.
I'd side over Israel for the fact that they'll actually deal with us and trade with us. That's about it.
Right. Now, if the Israelis had done the bad thing, I would 100% be like, hey,
what?
because I am not a strong supporter of Israel at all. But
Yeah.
October 7th, that was a war crime.
Yep.
So I know it's sad that a bunch of people are getting whacked, but that's what happens in wars. Always, every time. So, that's where I am on that. Now, my main thing though, bro, is I wish America wouldn't get involved.
Yeah, that's my side. I just don't want America to
I
get involved.
F it, you know what I mean?
We got too many. We need to stop
Right.
doing
We've
that.
sent hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, and people in North Carolina are
Here's the
still
thing.
sleeping in tents and shit. Revelation is not a book I often read, bro.
Not to mention, if what you're talking, we're not supposed to try to bring them out and try to.
Yeah. And even reading about
That
that
doesn't
stuff
make any sense.
doesn't
Just to
mean
go,
that
oh yeah.
you'll know when it happens. Unless you're talking about Jesus saying the synagogue of Satan and all of that, which I don't disagree with. Believe me, the Orthodox Church has not changed a single jot of its doctrine. So what it says in Matthew, we still believe, unlike the Roman Catholics and all that. And no, we do not believe that people who don't accept Christ will be able to go to heaven. Unlike some newer churches that try to,
oh, if you're good, you can go anyway because it doesn't matter. No, that's not true.
Right. Or like there's some sort of special dispensation for the people who call themselves Jewish now.
Yeah,
there's not.
No.
And there's no special dispensation for the Muslims either.
Nope.
They're both hosed if they don't straighten the hell up. But if you want to blame anyone, blame the French and the frickin' British for, the
Palestine was
Balfour
never
Treaty.
a real thing.
It's true. Palestine started it by being occupied. Look, the word Palestine is not even an Arabic word. It's Roman. It's Latin.
Yes.
Palestine as a nation never existed until the Balfour Treaty said it did. It was like the backwater of the Ottoman Turk Empire.
The only way we should support Palestinians, or these people that call themselves Palestinians, is to try to convert them to Christ.
007, showing his ignorance.
This one's also another one.
007, we didn't steal the Indians' land. We conquered it.
Yes.
And we conquered it because we had better technology and we were way better at war. And they got their asses whipped. And that's what happens and has happened since history started.
Not to mention all the diseases that came with the white men it
didn't help that so many of them died of smallpox, but when we finally hammered the Lakota Sioux and all them into going to the reservation. Yeah, it's not like we waited till the sun set and we crept up on their
Well, the thing is,
teepees and start stealing. No,
the Middle East has been occupied by a lot of groups, including the Romans, which killed a lot of Jewish people.
good goyim. I was raised Jewish. I know what that means, and it's not a good word.
In
It's not a
fact,
good word.
you know, the people who I don't.
Well, I
believe
told you,
the
oh
people who
boy,
do
or
call themselves.
I told your boy, blame the British. The freaking Balfour Treaty effed everything up. But saying it was the natives' fault, I mean, you know what happens when strong warlike cultures meet weak, less warlike cultures? Weak, less warlike cultures get their asses whipped.
Heck, some of the weak warlike cultures also
as
get
you
their
can tell
asses
from the
kicked.
shirt I'm wearing, I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed of my ancestors. And my family has been in this country close to 300 years.
That's actually kind of a misnomer. Some of the native groups were also warlike. They were just weaker.
Oh, they were incredibly warlike. The whole reason the Lakota Sioux were on the plains is because the British had given firearms and weapons to the Chippewa Indians. And the Chippewa Indians used those weapons to try to wipe out the Lakota. So the Lakota had to flee, and they ended up near, the Black Hills region, where they immediately wiped out the natives that lived there. And then, fast forward like 75 years or so, and we showed up and whipped their ass. So, I mean, this idea like the Indians are sitting around singing Kumbaya, they were like fighting and killing and torturing and raping each other nonstop. They were the worst. Uncivilized bastards. Yeah, only losers want winners to be ashamed of winning. Exactly.
Yeah.
We whipped their ass, and we brought upon this face of this planet the most powerful, greatest nation ever. And no one should be made to feel sorry for that. But yeah, like I said, the Lakota whine about stolen land. They committed genocide when they were forced to flee from the forests in the north onto the plains. The tribes that were there, they committed genocide on them. A U-boat, that would be cool. They got a U-boat up in Jacksonville, I think.
Yeah, I think so. They brought it there from, it was basic war trophy.
Yeah, they got the thing like basically all set up. You can squeeze into it if you want. If two people shoot, no. What gives us the right is we showed up and we really liked this land, and they were weak Stone Age people who hadn't even developed the will. So we whipped their asses and we took it. And some of them fought incredibly bravely. But at the end of the day, we were just better. And that's just how it is. Now, the Israel thing, I mean, on the one hand, you have people who reject God and basically hate Jesus. And on the other hand, you have followers of a false prophet. So, I mean, religiously, that one's complicated. So if someone else murders someone else, that means you can murder someone else. Holy shit, 007, you're dumb. We're talking about nations, not individuals. Out of the water, people. Yep, there's a shark in the water. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about nations and the way nations actually not only function, but have functioned for as long as we know. And I'm one of those guys that thinks human history is probably way older than we think it is. I'm not a young Earth guy, real great Christian morals. No, it was actually great Christian morals. We put an end to all their pagan bullshit and taught them the light of science and Christianity. We elevated them from where they were. I mean, they were living in the mud, Stone Age. I mean, yeah, we uplifted them. So yeah, I don't feel bad for that. And also, I don't care what you think about my morals.
Well, that's
So,
logic. I mean, these people would be the one to side with the people sacrificing their kids to a golden bull.
right? I
It's
mean,
like, what are we supposed to do? Just let that happen? Okay, that's a very horrible thing to do, but okay.
yeah, these are the people who are like, I can't believe the Europeans came over and wiped out the Aztecs.
Or, no, this
Like,
is the same people that'll complain that
the
God
Aztecs
lets
were like worshiping demons and eating their own children.
this is the same group that will actually complain about God letting evil in, but whenever he actually punishes the evil, they're like, well, that's just being too horrible. Why did he do that?
Oh, 007, now you've lost the argument. You've broken the one big internet rule that has existed since AOL Online. The first person to mention Hitler loses.
Yeah.
So you just lost the whole argument. And I'm not sorry about your luck, but it is what it is.
By his logic, actually, we shouldn't have fought Hitler because, it's...
Yeah, by his logic, why did we get involved? I mean, it wasn't our
Yeah.
country. We,
Yeah.
That's not true. The first island that Columbus landed on, there were two tribes. One tribe was slavers and cannibals, and the other tribe were peaceful. And the peaceful Indians begged the Spaniards to help them, which they did. And they wiped out the cannibal tribe. Now, if the rest of the Indians died of like smallpox, yeah, Godwin engaged. And that what's funny is Godwin's law has existed since people were on dial-up. I mean, everyone knows if you have to start bringing that shit up, you're just like, whatever. But
What Jose's talking about now.
yeah. Oh, I see what Jose's talking about. He's like, leave it to the guys that are actually there. My big thing is I just don't want America to be involved in any new wars, and I don't want us to send money to anyone.
Yeah.
Unless they're friends and we're buying shit. Like trade. But just to give some rando Eastern European country hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions, actually, that's just stupid.
Especially while we're in massive debt. Oh, yay, that's great. Let's pile up a little more debt.
And what's even worse is it's not going to change anything. Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, most of the natives were absolutely horrible. The Sioux, the Comanche, the Apache, the Kiowa, they were absolutely terrible.
I mean, that's just like a lot of human history.
It's all of human history.
Yeah.
Like when everyone was talking about how orcs equal Africans, I was like, if they're like any real world culture, it'd be Germans. Like Dark Age Germans, the ones that were fighting against Rome. Yeah, that's what orcs would be more like. I mean, I can't think of a sub-Saharan African tribe that the orcs would be like. Because I don't know of any sub-Saharan African tribes that ran around just burning shit to the ground for no good reason. But I do know that the Gauls, Celts, and Germans, they did that shit for fun. It was like, well, it's Tuesday, time to go burn some shit to the ground. When Nero burned down Roma, when Nero fed innocent Christians to lions, that was just him being a Chad. I want to apologize for my ancestors. So you, dude, if you're Italian, you have about as much in common with the Romans as a monkey. Okay? The Romans are gone. And they were replaced by Germanic people. Whatever the Romans were, I don't know. But the Visigoths, the Goths, the Lombards, etc., wiped them all out. So you're not a Roman. Most American Indian tribes had less developed ethics. Oh, yeah, like the Anasazi, who were 100% freaking cannibals.
Cannibals. That King of the Hill episode was funny.
Yeah, when the guy, he kept trying to make everybody like
Feel
ashamed.
bad about it. And then it's like, well,
Bobby
that
read
was
the
a long
papers.
time ago. They haven't done that in hundreds of years. Oh, really?
He's like, yep, your people were cannibals. And eventually people got mad enough to put an end to that shit.
Yeah.
No, Jose, 007 is just saying shit to get people stirred up.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I always say to him, it's like if you push the limit enough, eventually you'll get banned. And then what? Like, what's your
Doesn't
big
really
play
matter.
after that? You just have one more place you can't go. And no one over here will give a shit. You know what I'm saying? It won't change us at all. So, oh God.
Oh, this. If you don't mind to go on. What is it now?
Oh boy, again, you show your ignorance. There were not supposed to be anyone in the building, which is the F. Murray building, when that happened. And it is a tragedy that it happened. So, also, side note, Tim McVeigh was like not only an infantryman, but it was in the sister unit of the unit I was in when I was in the Army. Pretty crazy, right?
That'd be funny.
An anecdote about Spanish missionary who went to cannibal tribe. Yeah. Yeah. You think I'm funny, and I think you're kind of ignorant. Cigar DM, what's up, homie? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a coon's age.
Now, if we want to talk about D&D, I recently was talking to my cousin about something, and I asked him if he remembered that one time where we had. What now?
I'm listening.
We were like searching this one building, this one really nice like mansion in the wealthy part of Flan. We started dispelling a lot of magic off of this chest because we thought something might be in it. After we dispelled the last, oh, okay, that's weird.
Oh, I banned him because he said, "Bring it on." Okay.
Yeah, I know, but something went wrong. Because I can't see chat now.
I hope I didn't ban you.
I don't know.
Let me see.
I'm just kind of just like, oops, something went wrong, and then won't load it. So I don't know what happened there. Let me see something. Okay, yeah, I can still see it on the YouTube channel. It's just in this restream I can't see it.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Land back for ancestral Europa. How do y'all feel about land back? I would much rather people learn to make the countries where they live better than to go to other countries and make them worse.
Yeah.
So that's basically Yeah, I think that was either a friend of or Condor DM himself.
Yeah, he said that you banned the wrong person.
Did I ban the wrong person?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Oh boy.
I don't even see oh boy.
Still in the YouTube stream, chat.
Oh, I put him on this chat block. I can block him on YouTube too.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't know why. I just can't see the restream chat.
Oh man. I hope I didn't do anything bad.
Mm.
Like block it off. Okay, no, I don't need notes. I don't need that. Yeah. Can you type?
In Discord or in Restream? Because in Restream, it's just a blank thing. I could type in the private chat.
Well, I do know that when you were whatevering, there was like a second when your connection got really shady.
Yeah, it might be about that.
So I'm wondering if you lost it because your connection was so shady.
Yeah, maybe. Doesn't even say anything now, so I can't really reload it. So, well, we'll just have to keep the chat and YouTube on the side.
Yeah.
Oh boy, but yeah, after we dispelled that last spell on or that last enchantment on that chest, the chest exploded.
What?
Oh, it's funny.
See, I'm on YouTube, and it always takes like a minute for YouTube chat to load.
Yeah, but yeah,
such a bitch.
Guess what was in the chest that made it explode?
A bunch of different potions.
No.
Dynamite.
Nope. A bunch of dead corpses.
So was it corpse gas that you ignited with fire?
No, what happened was it was basically a pocket dimension. Apparently, this rich group decided to have like a pocket dimension to put their dead instead of burying them.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to just
have them in a mausoleum or something. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I see him over here talking shit about grognards. Have a great day, Genocider. I got D&D to play. If you were a good gamer, you would probably be playing a good game.
Yeah.
Which would not be 5e, unfortunately for you. So.
but yeah, when I told my cousin that, he was like, "Oh well, yeah, but that's like a Tuesday for us."
Right.
It's like we can all the crazy stuff we go through.
See, I got your private message, no problem though.
Yeah. So it must have been something with the connection.
When you said yo.
Yeah.
Oh, I just banned him, Jeff. He is the second person in the history of ever to be banned. And the first person in the history ever to be banned was Condor DM. So it's possible I just banned Condor DM twice. Wouldn't that be kind of funny in a sad way, though?
I was going to say, I'd actually see it sad. I mean, why would you do that? Why make another account just to do that?
Yeah, it's like...
Seems like...
Why... Well, I think Double D said it best when he said, like, what's your end game here? Like, you aggravate people, you call them a bunch of names, you get banned, and then you, what? Go have a sandwich or something? I don't know. It's like, do you feel better about yourself now that you got banned? I mean, from a channel that's damn near impossible to get banned from. That's, you know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. But, you know, no one said it was supposed to, I suppose. And some people are just going to be jerk offs. But yeah, I love that. Oh, you stole the land from the Indians. Just shut up, you know. And yet, if we start talking about Constantinople or all of the Middle East or anything like that, he won't, you know,
You won't say that was for stolen land.
yeah, he won't say that's stolen land, you know. It's only stolen when it's not, you know, European or Christian, you know.
It's even weirder because, I mean, the Middle East is where Christianity started.
Right. And before the rise of Islam, all of that land was Christian land. Every bit of it. So it's like, come on, guy. And now mine Verterreich is let's stay away from the real life politics for a minute.
Yeah, I'd
How about
rather.
that?
I'd really rather just talk about games and fun stuff.
I mean, that's why we do this stream, is to talk about games. I mean, if you've got an axe to grind, this is not the place for it.
Find a place that's talking about it.
I mean, you can go to
Plenty of other
Twitter.
places.
You can go to Twitter and grind that axe if you want. But I mean, I've let it be known. See, damn it. See, I agree with that, but I'm still not going to engage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't see it, but yeah.
As an Orthodox Christian, we all dream of the day that Constantinople is ours again. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Litholdus and his goofy ass D&D game. And me painting a couple of different units for my Song of Ice and Fire war game. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
So, you know, maybe I'm going to have to start like making moderators that do nothing but just ban people that won't stay on task. You know, I know a lot of channels do that. They make moderators, and if you screw up, like if you watch Asmongold, that guy will permaban everybody at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's talking and somebody starts running off, he's like gone. And then like once a month, he has this like the unbanned stream. Okay, I didn't see that. And he'll go through everyone that he banned, and he'll figure out why he banned them, and then he'll figure out whether they should be unbanned or not. And sometimes he unbans them, and then other times he's like, no, that guy's out.
Oh, it's Jose. Yay, Jose.
How you doing, Jose?
I'm fine, and you? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just, dealing with my fans. You know how it is when you're popular and famous. You got fans, which is not always a good thing. I'm learning. But
well, that's easier than in Korea. In Korea, fans are a serious thing.
In Korea, if you want to go online, you have to actually give them your driver's license and all kinds of shit, like where you live, everything. I learned that when I played ArcAge, because there was a Korean gamer and he made tons of videos showing how to do different ArcAge like raids and shit. And he talked about that. Like, if you go online in Korea and run your yap off too much, like, they know who you are. They know exactly where you live. And apparently in Korea, they take that shit serious because do any of you guys remember the game Lineage?
I never played it.
Hey, Coco B.
I know more
Lineage
about
was like one of those hardcore Asian grind MMOs.
Yeah.
And some guy did something to someone else, like stole a sword or some shit. That was like some kind of artifact or other. So the guy who got the thing stolen from him sued the thief and won and got the value in Korean money of that artifact. And then in another time, someone betrayed someone else's guild and they caught him out and they killed him in a bathroom. Because apparently Koreans take their MMOs serious, man. They aren't joking around.
Wait. We were talking about MMO. I'm sorry. I thought it was like a D&D or some campaign where a thief stole somebody's sword and the DM had to run the whole, Law and Order episode. Yeah, which would be awesome.
That would be weird and funny.
But
no, I'm talking about a guy, like a real live guy in a game.
Right.
I think it was Lineage. Stole some other guy's sword.
Well,
and got sued and lost. And then in another occasion, some guy betrayed his guild and like let another guild take over their castle or some shit. And that dude got killed.
I mean, damn.
Well, because like I said, in Korea, if you're running your mouth and shit, they can look up your address.
Because
look at you, because your name, address, everything is linked to your internet account. Look at you.
I was thinking about you when I bought the cigar.
Yeah.
It's El Roma de Cuba El Jefe.
El Jefe, the boss.
Yeah.
My papa, he just smoked some, I think it was Swisher Sweets.
Yeah, when I worked in the convenience store, we sold a lot of Swisher Sweets, but I don't think anybody smoked them.
Really quick before we go down the crazy train that tends to happen, I want to say happy belated Christmas to you, James.
Well, you're early actually for me.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Not
right.
for left though.
And as just a Catholic, not the cool Catholic like that guy is, because his bake sales are amazing.
I hear that the Orthodox do get a lot of good food.
Oh yeah.
One of my friends, he goes to like a Greek Orthodox, like cookouts and stuff.
Yeah, like the week after Easter is like off the chain, man.
No,
freaking off the chain.
I knew this year's Lent was going to be long, then I didn't realize how long it's going to be. I'm like, that might make me choose what I'm going to give up for Lent and what I'm not going to give up for Lent. My daughter's like, you should just give up cigars. I'm like, tell you what, I'll give up smoking cheap cigars for Lent.
Yeah, be a real smartass and be like, I'm giving up Lent for Lent.
I've done that before. I was irritated at the church one year, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just giving up Lent for Lent. It's like, can you do that? I'm like,
it
kind of gets fuzzy, but you're supposed to give up something that means a great deal to you. And if you're a good Catholic, now,
Now, back when I was a little kid, I also used one of the Swisher Sweets box as a crayon box.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say, back when I was a kid, I used to use Swisher Sweets for my pot. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't be the first.
No, he would definitely not be the first, because when I worked in that Circle K, the homies would come in all the time and they'd be all like, hey, you got a pack of cherry flavored Swisher Sweets or whatever? Be like, yep. And then you go out in the parking lot at night to like do the sweeping.
Yeah.
And all the insides of the Swisher Sweets would just
be gutted out.
Because they just gutted them bastards out so that they could roll their. Now, see, Swisher Sweet got smart. They just started selling wraps. So you can just go into a store and be like, I'll get a pack of those cherry wraps. And it's literally just the outside.
The wrap, yeah.
Like, whatever.
Well, why make the whole cigar if nobody smokes them anyway, huh?
Oh, also, yeah, Shark. You're absolutely
Count
right.
Dankula went to Orthodox Christianity. Well, the Lord,
nice.
Well,
protect
everybody
and
makes.
look over him. I mean, Orthodox Christianity, for some reason, is like incredibly attractive to young men, specifically young men. And
I'll
it's
give you that.
growing by leaps and bounds, and 80% of the people joining the religion are young men. So I don't know what's going on with that, but
I got a joke for you, DM James. Now the question is, do I have to PG-13 this joke or tell as is?
well, we're past an hour, so I don't think
I always
YouTube
want to
would
give you
like
the
me.
option. Now, these two married men go out Christmas shopping for their wives, and they have absolutely no idea what to get them. Well, one says, "Well, I'm just going to buy her a watch and a dildo." The guy's like, "A watch and a dildo? Why?" It's like, if she doesn't like the watch, she can go fuck herself.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Should I? How many Hail Marys do I need to do there?
I don't know. I'm not a priest. I don't know anything about all that.
I thought you might appreciate the. I thought you might appreciate the joke.
Yeah. I am the last person you should be asking anything about, because I am absolutely the worst person.
Was it? No, if I was ever
the starter set comes with castle walls.
Nice. Now, what is this for?
A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh,
so there are scenarios where you have to besiege castles.
Mm-hmm.
So on the play surface, you could put the castle walls down.
If I was
the
ever
best
to give
thing is you get this pack of die, and the 6 side is the Kraken. Because it's Greyjoys.
Yeah, I would prefer either, of course, the Stark.
I have the Starks.
Do you have Robert what was his last name?
I do not have Baratheon.
Yeah.
I have Greyjoy, Stark, and Lannister.
Lannister's got to be pretty cool, but it's a golden lion. I mean, that's kind of common.
Yeah, but they had a pretty good leader. I liked him in the book anyway. Tywin's brother.
Tywin, if you ever go back and read, and I recommend everybody read, but go back and read Nikolai Machiavelli. Tyrion would actually be what more or less his personality and the way he thought would be what Nicholas Machiavelli was talking about.
What, you mean the Beast and the Prince?
The Prince, yeah.
Yeah, that's in Dune too, because Raban was the Beast and Fade was the Prince.
What I mean to break it down is to what is better for your people to love you or to fear you, and it is
on GB News.
The argument is you're a weak ruler if your people love you because you're more likely to break your own rules. Now, if they fear you, doesn't mean they disrespect you, but they're more likely to stay in line.
Well, here is the thing. Going a little off subject, but historical doppelganger, answering your question, the big reason for these things is that pretty much every church in the West has become weak. They've become like Jesus clubs where you get together and you pretend that you worship Jesus, but really everything goes and you can wave all your rainbow flags and do whatever you want. Orthodoxy is not that way. Orthodoxy is militantly Christian. And for some people, that is a very appealing thing because it's basically like the foundation is uncracked, you know? Whereas like every other week, you know, one of the Protestant religions is changing how they view things. And even the Roman Catholic Church is like started changing stuff, but the Orthodox don't change. So, you know,
counter
if
argument,
you are a masculine man who wants to work out and go to prayers and maybe find a decent wife and have 18 kids, Orthodoxy is your shit. You know what I mean? And we never apologize for our Christianity ever.
The only counter argument I can actually give to that would be the Roman Catholic Opus Dei branch of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, but
They're-
those guys are considered to be like zealots.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I wouldn't. But they are strong in their belief, and they don't break tide because of
Right.
new
Well, a
thought.
lot of Catholic people I know live by the saying that you don't abandon the boat just because the captain's corrupt.
Yeah, I've
And
heard that.
that's how they justify staying with the Roman Church.
That's why I'm not Roman Catholic. I'm Irish Catholic. We
But-
don't do wine. We do whiskey at communion.
I wish I just go to an Orthodox church. I can't.
Yeah.
I looked up
It's
actually.
not
It's
easy
even
where
further than I
you are.
thought. It's even worse than I thought because I thought there'd be one in Etown. No, the closest one is in Frankfurt.
Yeah, there's one in
Orthodox?
Lexington too.
Yeah,
We have a Greek Orthodox Catholic church in Peoria, and I
Yeah.
go there for their bake sales, and boy, are they amazing!
I was hoping there
Well,
was.
I
one
mean,
closer.
Chicago is full of Poles, Russians, and Greeks.
I was
Oh,
at
yeah.
least.
So
I
you
was
know,
at least.
you got the churches there.
I was at
Oh,
least gonna see if I could get my guns blessed.
They will do that. They will absolutely bless your guns before hunting season.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
I've never had
currently, every tank rolling off the line in Russia to go into Ukraine is blessed by a priest.
Yep.
And if you watch the footage, the war footage, like almost every Russian soldier in Ukraine has the holy icon of a saint or something on him. And to make things extra funny, they've started wearing purity seals like freaking Space Marines. Except instead of whatever Space Marines put on, it's like Psalms. But yeah, so you've got Russian soldiers that are actually wearing like Space Marine purity seals. It's like, okay.
I am going to behave and not share my opinion.
Well, if your opinion is that Ukraine is at all right, you're just wrong.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm being polite. Hey, by the way, did I tell you I bought into a cigar shop and
You
lounge?
did not.
I did. I am a partner at
You
a
haven't
cigar.
told me anything because I haven't seen you in 3 months.
Has it really been that long?
It has been a while. I'd say
Yeah.
about 3 months. Yeah.
At least 3
Yeah.
months.
No, I bought into a cigar lounge in Peoria, Illinois.
Oh my God. You know what your biggest problem is?
I'm an idiot.
No,
Oh.
you live in Illinois.
I mean, hey, James, at least it's not Indiana.
Oh God.
Shark, I am smoking El Roma del Cuba El Jefe.
Yeah.
Actually, Christmas, I bought myself. James, do you know your way around cigars? I mean, do you know?
I have never smoked anything in my entire life, bro.
Me
Alright.
neither.
Well, my Christmas present to myself was, I still have the container, was an Opus
Me neither.
X. It's
I
like
don't-
top shelf cigar. It's amazing cigar. But you know, I figure since I'm going by the handle, you know, Cigar DM, buying into a cigar shop / lounge is just, you know,
That's
brand.
just on brand.
The only cigars that I have tried are chocolate cigars. Do you remember those products when we were kids?
I remember when I
Yeah.
was a kid, they used to sell the
Yeah.
packs of candy cigarettes.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
My
Evolve
thing is actually the packets of gum that's like chew tobacco.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Big League Chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to. Some fucking person wanted to outlaw all products that have a tobacco-ish theme to it. So Big League's chewing tobacco was on it. There is a jerky that it comes out of a dip can that's absolutely fucking amazing.
I remember there was it was beef jerky, but it was in a dip can. Yeah. I remember that.
It was really good.
Man,
Yeah.
I now want some deer jerky. Is there a place I could get some good deer jerky?
Yes.
Um,
It's called buying a bow or a rifle.
Kentucky.
Got that.
Go out to the woods on the proper proper time of the year, and
Kill a
Kill it
deer,
yourself. Yeah,
Kill a
I
deer.
know.
and then put it in your dehydrator. Cut
My
it
my
in thin
grandma
strips
has
and
one.
put it in the dehydrator, right?
I saw a recipe for you putting them into an air fryer. I'm like, what the fuck?
What? That seems weird. Why?
When we made venison sausage, we would put in like a bunch of pork fat and jalapenos.
Well, you have to add the pork fat because deer is just fucking.
Yeah,
So
deer's
lean.
too lean; it won't sausage.
Yeah.
But
I
we
mean-
always like to put jalapenos in there to give it just
That kick.
that little bit of a bite. You know what
My
I mean?
grandma, she had some made some deer jerky before, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's been so long though.
Hey,
Well,
Hungar.
Hey, Hungar.
Hungar, what's up, King of the Nerds?
Let's see. Bought a cigar lounge. Became partners in a cigar lounge
Hello,
slash.
sir.
In Peoria, though.
Yeah.
Talk about that. If somebody smoked Swisher Sweets around me, I probably would get a little nostalgic.
There's this neighbor that we have. I'm gonna not say her name, but she is she's special. And
Hot or
what? No. She lives like up the road from the lounge, and she'll wander in. Now has been wandering in twice. She will bitch about the cigar smoke as she's smoking a cigar.
Why?
well, he already said she's special.
She's just, yeah.
She's a
I-
special lady.
I'm like, I saw her recently. I'm like, Merry Christmas, have a good holidays, and bless your heart.
For me, I'd rather somebody smoke a cigar around me than a cigarette. God, that stuff smells terrible.
I'll tell you what, though. Here's where, I mean, I know he has his reasons, and I know that they're good reasons. But the Cigar DM could live in Tennessee if he wanted to.
I like Tennessee.
But he stays in Illinois.
Should move to foothills of Kentucky. It's the best
Yeah.
place.
I don't know. We might, the wife is saying that we might actually get property in Tennessee. Just because she hates paying taxes that much.
Hey, that's fair. That is a thing.
Like, she totally hates the state income tax.
Now,
in Kentucky.
like-
Shark, this is what you need to do here, brother. You need to make meatloaf. Now, I have a special meatloaf, and I'll give you
Nice.
the recipe, just you. So everybody else, close your ears. You get your beef, you get your pork, you get some bacon, you get some cheddar cheese sticks, and some jalapenos. Right now, you fry the bacon to the side and put to the side. Then you get your hamburger and your pork, and you pour the bacon grease back inside with the hamburger meat with your eggs and whatnot. Then you cut up your jalapenos and put that in there. Then you roll it out like you're doing with biscuits, and you put your cheddar cheese sticks and you roll it up sort of like a Swiss roll. Then you wrap it around with bacon. Then you put it in the oven at 350 about 35 to 35 to 45 minutes, depends on how crispy you want your bacon. Then pull it out. It is the best meatloaf there is.
I think I'm gonna have to leave here now. It's about time for me to get ready for the game. I'll see ya.
Have fun, bro. All right.
Yeah, no, it's not. I see you on, and I'm like normally like fucking busy. I'm like, fuck, I need to hang out with my brothers. Just life being life.
Yeah, it do be like that.
Yes, I am in Costa Rica.
I mean, you know. And I need to get my freaking. I almost did the Destiny video today, but then I was like, where's my book? And I wanted to have the book on hand to do it. I know where it is. I just need to
Destiny,
get it.
like the.
Mech Warrior Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Not the purple haired dude with AIDS.
I
cool.
Who am I to
destiny.
question what you want to run there, Bubba?
Yeah, that guy, apparently they're saying he's got AIDS
Oh God.
on one of the YouTube guys. But I mean, okay, that's Salty Cracker, so who even knows? Because Salty Cracker can be very, very,
Salty.
yeah, you know, and he does go deep into the the hyperbolic statements, but then he always says allegedly. He's like, so-and-so's got AIDS, allegedly. It's like, okay, you do you, Salty Cracker. But
No, if I move again, I would like to go back to Tennessee, but my daughter needs just to be older. I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, last time we talked, your girl was what, like 13?
she just turned 14 in July. She'll be 15 this coming July. So I got at least anywhere to 4 to 5 more years before I would like to move. I would like to move back south after she gets settled.
Right. Well, I mean,
I'm not a good cook.
you're not a good cook?
Well, I think that I am very amateur. At least I can survive, but I am not a good one.
Well, I mean, a little humility never hurt anybody.
I think I'm a horrible cook. I just get paid to do it.
I could burn the water.
I am pretty good at cooking the things that I cook. Yeah, Hungar loves to cook, especially Korean and Japanese food. Whereas I generally, the things I cook that I'm best at cooking is Indian curries or Russian food.
Funny
Like
you bring up
chabrik or pierogi, stuff like that.
Oh. I belong to this. It's called the Illinois Cigar. No, that was it. The Gentleman Cigar Society of Illinois. I think it's called or something like that.
Nice.
Anyways, there's this guy Zach who's a traveling dentist, which I didn't know was a thing.
They got
He's
traveling
Russian.
nurses. I'm sure they got traveling other things.
Right. He's like, do you? And this is going to be a very bad attempt at it, but he's Russian. He's like, do you know how to make anything with beets? I'm like, beets? He's like, yes, I like red beets. I'm like, no,
Borscht.
but that's why I said, I'm like, isn't borscht, red beets? He's like, yes, but I was wondering if there's any other recipe you know of. I'm like, I don't tend to make Russian food.
I can think of a few things. And on top of that, red beets are incredibly healthy for you. They are full of all kinds of phenolactolines that make your body not want to hold on to fat and also can help clean out your liver. Yeah, Shark, I get that. And don't get me wrong, Shark. I love Salty Cracker. I'm a huge fan. I'm just saying. And I am a huge fan of anyone that talks shit about that blue-haired twink Destiny. Because, I mean, how did that guy become a millionaire basically being wrong at Econ 101? That's what I don't understand. These bread tuber commies get onto Twitch and they make millions of dollars talking about an economic system that has been proven horribly, horribly wrong like a dozen times, and then they become millionaires. It's like that seems somehow like
asinine,
like just not right. And who are the idiots that listen to these people? I think it's just people who are looking for any way they can to not have to have a job. But
I mean,
in a communist state, guess what? You're going to have a job and you're not going to like it. You will be in the salt mines or something. This idea that everything will just be paid for free and you'll have a beautiful luxury apartment on the 44th floor, moving all on up and all that shit. Yeah, right. No, it's not how it's ever worked. You'll be living in a shitty county block apartment with like your closest 20 friends, living on nothing but freaking rye bread and bologna, and working in a salt mine 16 hours a day. Love it, because that's just the way it goes. Always, every time. Well, not in Cambodia. In Cambodia, they just started killing everybody. I mean, they didn't actually even really try to set up a civilization. They're just like, all right, this is the list. Everyone on the list gets killed.
Who was that Tennessee girl? Hawk 2 girl.
Is she from Tennessee?
She's from Tennessee.
That is embarrassing.
Wow. She's in trouble right now.
Well, because she pulled a freaking...
I think she was listening to the wrong fucking people, because I don't think she was brilliant enough to do that horse trade.
This whole, hey, I'm going to create a freaking cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Get in on it quick, blah, blah, blah. And now she's like, F to the A, man.
That's federal prison time.
Rye bread is great for a cold day, yes.
Yes.
What my favorite food that Boris actually taught me to cook, because he did, is authentic goulash. And I love to eat it with the really black bread, like pumpernickel or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and nice butter on the bread and the goulash, bowl of the goulash.
Do you use hamburger meat or do you use lamb?
No, goulash is beef, and you cut the beef into like about the size of your finger, and then you fry it, and then you put it in the pot where you cooked onions, and then you put a shit ton of paprika and marjoram and other spices in, and then you cook it, and it becomes like a thick stew.
Right. I make goulash, but
now there's American goulash, which is hamburger meat, canned tomatoes, elbow noodles. I love that shit too. But
I was taught to make goulash by my grandma, and she was Romanian, but she used lamb. But she might have did that just to make my grandpa happy, because he preferred lamb over beef.
Well, I mean, lamb is delicious, but you can't really find it too much in America. At least not where I am.
Okay, I was about to say, any store in my local area right now, I can find lamb.
But again, you live in Illinois, which has a huge population of Greeks, Poles, and Russians.
Right. And in Tennessee, I was able to find it easy enough.
Right.
And that's Kurds and rednecks, so.
Yeah, it's so weird how many people don't want to eat lamb or venison. And it's like, this is like the healthiest meat you can eat.
Oh.
I mean, outside of maybe fish.
Fish is good for you.
But Condor, the sexy voice and thief of hearts. Holy shit, I love that. DM James, I was live streaming tonight. After stream, someone told me you were accusing me and my audience of attacking you. I have to admit, my good man, that there was a troll in my chat, and I thought it might be you. I don't have that kind of time and don't hate you. Well, that's good to hear, because I don't hate you either, bro. Best of luck. Peace. Peace to you too. Fucking class. Now I gotta say, Condor, that was class. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it was because 007, I thought, was one of his fans or shell account. But then again, oh boy, 007 or something, maybe he was just a retard. Maybe Condor isn't behind every bad thing that ever happens. You know? Like I've always told Condor, if you ever wanted to come on the show and chat about AD&D or something, he's 100% welcome. I mean, I'm pretty much an open book about it. I'll let anybody on. And I will not disrespect anybody, because I strongly believe in the tenets of hospitality. And
Well,
right now, this stream is my house, which means I have
it
to
looks
take it with a
it
certain
looks
level of
like
hospitality.
this stream already has a villain. Then
Well, the problem,
No, if
yeah,
Condor is going to show up and be like peace and love, man, I'm going to be like peace and love to you too. Do
not
your
your
AD&D thing.
I don't speak Russian.
Are you singing Oi? Yeah, Oi, Maros, Maros. Yay, Maros, Menya. Yeah, he's saying, oh, Father, oh, Frost, Frost, or Father Frost. Don't freeze me, and also don't freeze my horse. Kunya.
I think the most political thing I've
Merhaba Kunya. Yeah. James, remember there are lots of obnoxious, belligerent jackasses around. There are. And I don't understand why. I have found, like, I don't even go on Twitter hardly anymore just to check stuff and be like, whatever. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe just in my older age, I've got to the point where I'm like, I would rather hang out with the bros and talk about games and miniatures and toy collections and whatnot than get involved in the trolling, because, I don't know. It just doesn't do anything good for you. And like Double D said, okay, so you troll someone and make them really mad at you, then what? I mean, what's the exit plan there?
I will openly admit this. I miss Shauner. I really do. And I know I wasn't one of his favorite people, and that's fine because there's times where he wasn't one of my favorite people.
No, you were a waste of space on my panel.
Yeah. But there are
he was always like, why does James keep letting Connor don't know shit? And I'd be like, because he's a nice guy, man. What's up?
I used to end Bruce's campaigns by just poking the bear per se. I'd be like, fuck you, Condor. No, I say fuck you, Condor. But I used to say fuck you, Shauner.
Because you knew he'd be watching.
Just to poke the fucking bear.
I used to love when he would do like a review of someone else's game, and then I would review his review.
Yeah.
And then it would be like Shaunerception. There'd be like 5 reviews of each other's reviews. Yeah, he was and like I always tell people, like 10 years ago, when I met him online, he was like the coolest. You know what I mean? And if you like Traveler, he was absolutely the man. Now I would say Seth Skorkowski. But 10 years, a decade ago, yeah, it was Shauner. If you wanted to learn how to play Traveler, if you wanted to, there toward the end, and I totally get it, but towards the end of his days there, he started just getting very curmudgeon-y.
Which is fine. I also appreciate. I'm a partner at a Scar Lounge. You know how many curmudgeonly bastards I deal with,
right?
I actually do appreciate it somewhat.
It's like I can't count the number of times Homeboy banned me, unbanned me, rebanned me. He never talked shit about me though, really. Like he watched me run a game of Conan 2.20 and he said that I was a good DM and that Hungar was a good player.
That's high compliments from him.
That's what I'm saying. We might be the only people on the internet that Shauner ever said something good about.
I really did enjoy him. And I say this playfully, if I ever had a problem going to sleep, I'd just watch his Skyrim videos. And
God. Running Skyrim with 2089 mods. And it's like, what are you doing, man? He had been playing Skyrim for like 7 years. Since it came out.
That game pissed me off because they had their big anniversary a couple of years ago now. And like, we're bringing new aspects to the game. What they brought was you're now able to fucking fish. I'm like, really, guys?
You can fish?
I can
I'm
finish.
bad. Catch you later, historical doppelganger. We'll be closing shop in 6 minutes anyway, and we're just winding down.
But
But
we gotta find
and-
some time here, brother, because I would love to have you on my channel just to bullshit.
well, I mean, you just
Oh.
got to send me a message most days. I'm
Yeah.
not doing much.
I know Monday.
These are the silent men.
Okay.
Zenithal highlighted. They have like OD green cloaks and they wear gray clothes. And then they have those big freaking two-handed axes. They don't
Those
have a lot of armor, and the armor they have looks like it's made out of bronze plate.
Oh,
Like lamellar armor like you would see with Kievan Rus or whatever. But like I said, their whole deal is they've had their tongue removed and they're always silent.
This is of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Okay.
James,
Yes, sir.
I have a small commercial. It is about the YouTube channel that I run. It
You
is
have
called-
a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is basically if you try to look for it, you will not find it. You could find the videos. There is, if you search for BattleTech catalog, there is a video about the essentials of BattleTech, and basically you will find that channel that way. BattleTech catalog in YouTube, and basically that's the way in which you will find the channel, and it is called BattleTech Fan. Just to let you know.
Neat. Okay, BattleTech catalog. There's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of different stuff here.
Let me see, BattleTech catalog. And there is one that says classic BattleTech tabletop game catalog of Wave 1 and 2 tabletop essentials. That is the video. So basically that is that video belongs to my channel, and that's there you can find my channel.
Nice. So subbed. Nice. Keep me up to date on all the goings-ons at Catalyst.
Yeah,
I mean, the last box set they put out, I wasn't interested in it because it was like a bunch of I'm frozen.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Let
you
me
are
make
frozen.
Sure the camera's doing.
I thought that it was me.
Let me see.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you look for BattleTech catalog and that video about the catalog of Wave 1 and 2, Tabletop Essentials, and that video belongs to my channel. Basically, it is a tutorial about how to play, how to begin with BattleTech, and all this. So I tried to make it not with audio. It is just pure images so that you have a visual guide, because it tries to be very visual for people to learn.
Yeah.
James, you're just not having much luck right now.
Yeah, he's frozen again.
I am frozen again.
Yeah.
Chelyabinsk. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but the good news is I was going to end it about now anyway. I sub to your channel. I'll look over what you got. And yeah, Catalyst, a lot of their newer stuff is like much later stuff, and I don't really care about it. But I will go ahead and get these 2 units painted, and that will be 4 units done for Greyjoy. And I've already got Victarion done. He's going to be my army leader, and I'm getting ready to do Balin, Blacktide, and he'll be the commander of the Blacktide guys.
Sounds good. I
So
was
Not
joking with one of my buddies who runs Warhammer, and I'm like, if I ever got into it, I want to make an army. He's like, what kind of army? Time Lords. He's like, that's not in. I know. He's like, well, how would you do it? Hook up with somebody who has a 3D printer and have a little fun.
right. But anyway, the computer is telling me it's time to go.
Time to go to bed.
So I will check you guys out later.
okay. Don't forget to check my YouTube channel. Just
I
in
will
case,
not.
there is a Make Warrior Destiny video right there, so you can
Nice.
check it out.
All right.